Have you ever struggled with body image? In this interview with Luana, we talk about body image and how it affects all of us. My name is Azalea.
My name is Anthony.
And together we are
The Del
the
Santos!
Santos!
This is part 2 of our interview with Luana. This is part of our series called Expert Next Door, where we interview our friends and family on a topic that they're an expert on and that we think they can provide value for you. So without further ado, let's jump into the interview. Bye.
This is it.
You were born in Brazil, jumped into ballet, did sales.
Okay. So then I have to adapt, right, to the new to the new world, the United States, the new country, new culture, everything. So my husband at that time, he was a huge influencer and a motivator for me to really try to experience more the fitness world. And that was exactly what I did because I had a background in ballet and dance. It is physical work. It's very different than fitness. We're still dealing with the body. It's still everything involves the body, but it's different arts. So I was just like, okay, I was going to the gym every single day because I had to deal with all of that energy. So the best way for you to really release anger and all of those, not even anger, was not dealing with anger. I was dealing more with the unknown fear. I was dealing with fear. So I was just like to ease the anxiety and all that stuff. So gym was the medicine, moving my body, just kind of recycling that energy. So I started just like reading a lot about training, about a modality that I was not 100% an expert about it because as I said, my background was ballet, was dance. So I had education in that area, not in the kinesiology. And that was when I started. In 2012, he pushed me. He was a great motivator. You should do like a competition. So that was my first competition. The first year I did a competition. It was great and it was insane at the same time because you have to go into a crazy diet, right? You starve yourself, but not starving yourself. It has a lot of restriction. So it was the first time in my life that I experienced discipline in the top level, and it taught me. It is addicting. It was really addicting. Not the diet, but the discipline. The whole process it really created a blueprint in me. I was just like, this is awesome. But I didn't know what to do with this blueprint at that time. I was looking amazing. I started teaching at UFC the Samba. It was fun. It was great. It was awesome. It was the moment. It was the hour that I felt in Brazil because I had the music. I could just like go crazy, and not be judged. I was just like, okay.
And I love that class, by the way.
It was fun.
Favorite. I would go there and not feel judged, and it was a party in the class, but then I would go sweating, go home and like, I gotta work out.
Yes. No, it is a great workout. You work your legs, you work your core, your arms. It is in 100% aerobic. So it was really fun. And I was looking, my physique was really good. That was when I started training private clients. But when I started training clients, I noticed that in order to have them succeeding in their goals, I really had to talk and teach them other things, how to break bad habits. I had to tap into health conditions, health problems, and just like, how am I going to talk about this that a person can treat himself or herself just using natural things, not taking drugs, so that was when I kind of my coaching from the 100% aesthetic, the way you look, it went more for I kind of developed this identity in healing, in in tapping into the behavior and trying to understand and helping my clients, guiding them to have them understanding themselves better, in order to have them to open their mind to change the habits that were just basically sabotaging them, not sabotaging, kind of blocking them to achieve whatever they want to achieve. And I kind of had to also coach them to make them understand that the aesthetic, it's not it's the most important thing. It is how you are treating yourself. How do you talk with yourself? How do you actually deal with your nutrition? Because it's very easy, especially when you do competitions. We in the fitness competitors, they have the off season and the season that they are competing. So when they're in the season they are competing, they are training a lot, which is not a healthy thing. It causes a lot of stress to your body. And they have the off season. The off season, they are eating like everything they should not be eating, things that are unhealthy. I'm just like, I don't agree with this. I really don't agree with this.
Becomes unhealthy year round, right? One side it's on the physical, on one side on the nutrition.
Yes, because exactly, it's just like it was not related to health. It was related to the aesthetic part, how you look. But I question myself, just like, does this cause more harm, or does it actually it is a good thing for me? So when I asked myself that question and I got with the answer, just like, no, this is not healthy. Because first you become extremely narcissist, right?
Yeah.
Where the six pack matters more than anything in the world. So you start just like not eating a lot of food that actually it is essential to optimize your health and just to make sure you everything is working perfectly and the way it's supposed to be working in your body. So I was restricting myself because I wanted that look, because I wanted the six pack was the most important thing in the world. Just waking up in the morning and take a picture of my, my ab, and it's just like, no. This is wrong. This is wrong. And I didn't want to bring that to my clients.
Yeah.
And that was when my shift happened. And not only, so then after becoming a personal trainer, a group fitness instructor, I really put myself in to get extremely educated about health and health problems and behavior. So that's when I got my certification in health coaching and life coaching, because I cannot help my clients only physically when their habits, they're still sabotaging them. When they don't understand that it is extremely important to be active, to optimize their health. They're boosting their immune system. Everything is connected. So I really had to put myself in the position that I was getting the right education to coach my clients in a way that they are not only looking the aesthetic part, but the whole picture, everything. Because I tell them, just like a healthy body, it's not an overweight body. So it is just not. Because when you're overweight, what happens? You're either you're not active. You might not be active. There's a lot of people that actually are overweight and they are extremely active, not eating the right things. They might be dealing with a lot of stress. So there are a lot of things that it's that might be causing that person to be overweight. But if you're healthy, you're not going to be overweight. So that's when I expanded my knowledge more for the health coaching, life coaching. And now I'm a corrective exercise specialist too, because I went through injuries and I just like, okay, I really have to fix myself now. Yeah. And now I know how to fix like all of my clients, which is awesome. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you're a health and life coach, and I think you talk about kind of a holistic approach, not focusing on the aesthetics, but kind of the bigger picture. And I guess kind of going bigger picture, I think you talk about kind of like thinking about life in like 5 big areas and how you can make an impact on those. Can you kind of talk through that a little bit?
Yeah, just before I tap into the 5 big areas of life, the aesthetic. Let me just reframe that. The aesthetic, it is important. Why? Because we as society, we have a programming that our looks matter, and when you're healthy too, you're going to externalize that.
Yeah.
When you're healthy from inside, you're going to be beautiful from the outside. Your hair is going to look healthy. Your skin is going to look great. Yes, exactly. Your body, you're not going to have image problems. The way you see yourself, it is not going to be something that you're going to struggle. Yes, the aesthetic part, it is important. The problem is when we take to the extreme, when that it is more important than anything else. So that is when you start compromising your health to get to that aesthetic kind of programming. Because with the social medias we have nowadays, it looks like women has to have that kind of look. Otherwise, you're not going to be validated by society. So those are the things that it's just not healthy. But yeah, looking good, dress yourself, the clothes that you wear, it just like it really activate like some very good feelings, and in that the aesthetic, it is important. It is just when we take to the extreme and we start compromising our health to get the aesthetic point. And not only that, just like it affects everybody around you, because then when you become a narcissist, you care only about yourself. You don't care about others.
Yeah.
So,
and I think a lot of people can relate with that, especially women, like you said. Even myself, when I was UFC gym, I would work out. I would be like taking 5 classes a day, over and over again, because I wanted the same thing. I wanted to eat whatever I wanted, because I wasn't really about like diet back then. I didn't know how important it was, so I was like killing myself at the gym. I would take class back to back without knowing the damage that I'm doing to my body.
yes.
And I would like run in the treadmill. And I remember this girl asked me, she was like, I will run because I was trying to get rid of my hips. I didn't understand how hard it is to get rid of your hips. And it was a lot of cardio, but also genetic. So I can't really get rid of them. I can only tone them. But after high school, they just came out and I was like, what is this? I thought it was just, but I got them from my mom, so I can't complain. But I remember in the treadmill, UFC gym, I was running and this girl was telling me about her surgeries, and I was like, I'm out of breath. I can't even talk to her. And then she goes, oh, so who did your hips? And I was like, what? People get their hips done? I'm trying to run. I'm trying to get them rid of. So people have their whole like mentality of surgery. They have an image of what perfect is for them, instead of focusing on their body type. Like, feel good for what you have and feel healthy.
Feeling good in your own skin.
Yeah. And that's something that I worked a lot on. Like, even I would go in the mirror, I would be like, you're beautiful. And then one day I was like, you know what? I am beautiful.
Yes.
That's when I started being more mindful about my mind, what I'm thinking, what I'm eating, and working out. Those 3 things helped me a lot.
Yes. Good job. That's awesome. Good for you. And just to it is just funny talking about body image, because when I was dancing ballet, we have a stereotype, right?
Yeah.
You have to be extremely skinny, right? And I was not the skinny girl in my class. I was the one that had the wide hips. My thighs were very thick. And I hated myself. I literally hated myself for to have my body. Yeah. And that was extremely damaging. But growing up, I went through the same process. And I was just like, you know what? My hips is not going to change. God gave me this genetic, and I need to make peace with this. So what you're going to do with this? So where you're going? And I was just like, you know what? If I cannot get rid of, I'm going to improve. And that was when I created Perfect Legs and Butt class. I was just like, you know what? Time to improve. Time to be friends with what is not perfect.
Yeah.
And you know, Perfect Butt and Legs were great. It was a huge success. So now I really just, and I work out a lot. My my legs, my butt. It's my favorite. Which is funny because in Brazil, everything is about the lower body, right? It's all about the lower body. But because I was a dancer, and that is just like our brain, it is just going to judge ourselves and our appearance according to our environment. Because I was in the ballet environment, and I had to have this to be accepted in my, you know, to my teachers and all that stuff. I had to have that body type. I was not happy. So sometimes we really have to change the environment. If you're girls, if they are just comparing themselves too much with the girls of Instagram, so you should just, like, you know, turn off Instagram sometimes right now. You know, often, you know, I would say.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I think the best person to compete against is yourself. So like every single day, how can I make myself better? Versus
Exactly.
comparing against Instagram.
Exactly.
For example.
Yeah. I
Which
was
is a
following this girl because I thought she had a beautiful body and she was doing workout. It's weird, but I was following her because I thought, like, oh my God, I want to look like her. She's a motivation. And I started looking and like through her old Instagram, and then I saw that she had surgery for her boobs, her tummy, and everything. And I was just like, so I unfollowed her, and I said, this is not how I want to get my perfect version of my body. For me, it was more about her workouts, her eating and stuff. But then when I saw that there's people out there that like you said, they only care about is their appearance, they go to the extremes to get all these crazy surgeries. And it's like, I mean, if they make them happy, I'm okay with it, but it's not what not for me.
Yes, and if you really open yourself to really understand what is going on there, it is like the moment we opt to get procedures done, that it's our own insecurities. So if I'm following a girl that has fake implants everywhere, that means that, wow, that person, it is trying to, first of all, she or he doesn't accept himself or herself for what they want, who they are. Yeah. And to kind of override that, that's when we go to the to get these procedures done. Not judging. I think people should be happy.
Yeah. The
way they believe it is happiness to them. Mm-hmm. But that is just like, for me, I had to read that, just like, okay, why this person is opting to change themselves, to change their body. So just like, do you want to be that person? You know, no, I want to accept myself for who I am, and this is it. So
yeah, plus I didn't want to fight with my values. What I value are important to me. And then, like you say, based on our surroundings. So I was surrounding myself with this kind of fitness, which, like you say, is not, for me, was not what I was looking for. And at one point I told Anthony, hey, I want to get my boobs done. And Anthony was like, why? You never really cared. And I go, I don't know. I think I look nice with them. But then I started thinking about it. Is it really something I really want, or something that I've been seeing so much?
Yes.
Then I told Anthony, but if I get them, I can't do the things I like to do. And if I do, I'm like, oh, what if this? And then I looked at the price and I look at the consequences, and I'm like, you know what? It's fine.
Yeah.
Because I realized it's not really what I want, it's what I see. So I started, for my mind now, it's like whenever that happens, it's easier for me, like I said, turn it off, don't look at it, because I know that it's somehow affecting me and changing the way that I value myself. And also is not my thoughts, somebody else's. So
yes, it is.
Hi, I hope you guys like this video as much as I did. I personally struggle with body image every day. I struggle for it for years, and I work on it every day. I know I'm not the only one out there struggling with body image, and I know you guys can find some value in this as well.
Cool. Well, if you enjoyed that video as much as we did, spending that time with Luana and getting to pick her brain, we have our next video coming out with her where we kind of dive into the power of the brain, social media consumption, and consumption of media in general and how that kind of impacts your mentality, and also mentors and how they can influence your life in a positive way and in some cases negative way. So all kinds of fun stuff. We'll be posting that tomorrow, so stay tuned. Bye.
Bye.